As I mentioned, I'm here with Doug Foshee. He's the CEO of Paso Corporation, that is the owner of the largest natural gas pipeline here in the United States. And Doug, I'm just learning that you're actually on the board of the trustees here at Rice, right?
I am.
Not only you're a speaker here, but also a member as well.
Yes.
Okay, so we just talked actually quite a bit about natural gas with Jim Hackett and Adarko. And I know you're going to be talking about the future of the energy industry. So is that going to equal natural gas, the explosion of natural gas here?
Yeah, I think it's certainly a component. I think one of the things that we try to talk about a lot is the fact that there are no silver bullets. So it's going to take.
What do you mean, silver bullets against foreign oil? Or?
No, silver bullets as in you can't solve the problem just with renewables. You can't solve the problem just with energy efficiency. You can't solve the problem just with nuclear power or even just with natural gas. And so I think what we want to make the case for is that as a country we need an energy policy that sort of takes into context all of those, puts everything on a level playing field, and then let's sort of the best ones compete to give Americans what they want and what they need, which is a very secure source of energy at a very competitive price.
Right, and so far, though, the energy industry hasn't done a very good job, though, of it. Would you say? Is that an accurate statement?
No, I don't think that's an accurate statement at all. I think we've done a quite incredible job of providing relatively low-cost energy over a very long period of time. I think now we face a different set of constraints.
But every time you guys make a lot of money, Washington comes out and says, we're going to tax you on it.
Right.
Because they hate big oil.
Right.
No?
Right. Well, I think that's one of the things that's changed, right? This isn't a big oil story. This is an energy story. It's solar and it's wind and it's natural gas and it's coal. And actually oil, while it's a huge component of transportation, it's a much smaller component of electricity, and electricity is the piece of the energy pie that's growing. And it's growing because everybody wants a new PC, everybody wants a new personal digital assistant, everybody wants a new laptop.
Right.
And so the per capita use of electricity as opposed to other forms of energy is going up. And of course, in that vein, we think natural gas plays an absolutely critical role because it's the lowest carbon-based footprint fuel.
Now, you actually just reported results a couple of days ago. Swung to a profit, raised your output, right? Raised your output forecast. Your shareholders rewarded you.
Yes.
So does this signal then that the worst of the crisis in the energy industry is over with?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that, right? But because the natural gas industry is so dependent on the economic growth in the U.S., what happens in the U.S. economy. Right now, there's a lot of uncertainty about tax policy, about the regulatory regime, and so we're very hopeful. We put our company, I think, in a good position to be profitable in whatever circumstance we find ourselves in. But remember, we're only 18 months removed from a very, very challenging time, so we're a little sanguine on it.
Too early for you to talk about acquisitions or consolidation?
For El Paso, I think given that we have this huge backlog of organic growth projects, especially in the pipeline business, but also you didn't mention we're one of the top 10 independent producers of natural gas in the U.S., and so we find ourselves blessed with a lot of organic opportunities. So,
but you're selling some assets too, though.
We just announced the sale of our Mexican assets to SEMPRA for $300 million. Yes.
Okay. Doug, I want to also ask you about AIG because you were on the board of the trustee that owned those shares at AIG.
Yes.
You resigned last week. Why did you resign?
I was asked by my country to serve, and I was proud to have served, and I think as trustees we did the job that the American taxpayer would have wanted us to do, and in fact, even more recently, you're starting to see really positive signs come out of AIG, and I'm very hopeful, as I know the board and Bob and Foshee are, that they're going to be able to pay the taxpayers back, which was the goal. For me individually, I did my job. Okay. I do run.
But were you happy with the board there, or were you? I mean, because there was a lot of pressure on releasing documents, emails.
So one of the critical jobs that the three of us who were the trustees of this trust did in 2009 was actually affect a change at the board. So since I was a part of recruiting that board, I'd say, yeah, I'm very happy with the board, and I think my observation as a representative of the majority shareholder is that it's a very qualified board and very focused on doing what's right for the shareholder.
Okay, Doug, we'll have to leave it there, but good for you to join us and have a good time at this conference.
Yeah, welcome to Rice, by the way.
Thank you. Doug Foshee of El Paso.